What is going on, everybody? It's Jamie and welcome to the channel Thrift-Onfire. Today's going to be a what sold video. What sold for me recently on eBay and Poshmark. So an order pull video is what you are in store for. Another bit of good news is I finally was accepted to the eBay International Shipping Program on my main eBay store. My secondary card store has already been in it for a little bit, but my main store just got invited. I only know this because I made an international sale. I had been checking every couple days to see if I was accepted, but the other day I made a sale. I seen where it was going, and we're going to pull that today. I have made a second sale. We'll talk about the second sale when we get there, as I sort of initiated the sale, and we'll talk about it when we get there. I did mention to you guys that I had a movie night with the boys on Tuesday, and we did some thrifting, found some jerseys. They're all just soccer jerseys. Manchester United City jersey, what is it, stadium giveaway cricket jersey. Very next day, I found this Star Wars Spirit jersey. So I found a few things in the last few days thrifting. I really enjoyed the movie as well, though. Predator, is it Badlands? I didn't know if I would like it, but I had a really good time. Yeah, so as far as this mess, why I haven't cleaned up this mess, if you're wondering, had a busy week. Had a couple extra appointments I wasn't aware of. We had some issues at our other business, which is a spa in Tillsonburg called Tranquility. We had some leaking in the roof, and it's like damaging some tiles. So I've been dealing with that. We don't own the building, but it's a long story. But our lease is net, which means we're responsible for a lot of the maintenance on the building, but the roof is not part of it. So we do have somebody coming to look at that. Let's jump over though. I want to share this card sale with you because it's a really good one. Wound up shipping it out and using Zonos. So I'm going to explain all that. Let's jump over to the table. So let's just start by looking at the cards here. So Michael Jordan card here. A Joe Montana card. These are mostly from the 80s. Walter Payton, a more modern Mike Trout card. A Steve Young, I think from the 80s. Another Steve Young from the 80s. Probably a little bit of glare here, sorry about that. Another Aaron Judge, same card. Aaron Judge launch, I think this might be Panini or something. Stars of MLB, now we're into the Shohei cards. There's a bunch of Shohei cards in here, okay? So they originally bought 18 cards. I messaged them and said, hey, I can do combine a lot of Shohei, right? I can do combined shipping on all of this stuff and save you some money. So the first lot of 18 cards was $77.75. Okay, then they bought 3 more cards when I said, hey, I can combine the shipping for you, because they paid individual stamp prices for all these. I'll tell you how much they paid and how much were you refunded. So they bought another 3 cards for another $9.03. That winds up being $86.78. Okay, now if I flip this over, on the 18 cards, they paid $46.80 in shipping. They also paid $7.80 on the second lot of 3 cards. They paid a lot in shipping. So what I did is I gave them a full refund on the 3 cards, which was $7.80. And then on the $46.80, I refunded them $22.80. Okay, so now for the 21 cards, they actually paid $24 to ship them out. Now, in a lot of cases, I could ship these out cheaper, but this buyer is a US buyer. I wrote right here, Canada Post was going to charge me $14 tracked. It actually cost me $15.79. This box cost me about $2. I'm going to use some packing paper. So, $18. So I'm making an extra couple dollars on this, but it's a lot more work to pack up these cards. I also had to go through Zonos. I'll throw the fees, or not the fees, there are no fees, because sports cards for the most part are made in the USA or Canada. There are some that are made in Italy, so you have to look. Some of the Panini some of the Panini are made in the USA or Italy, so you kind of have to look at each one. But in this case, all 21 cards, 0 tariffs. I got the Zonos code, threw it in Canada Post, updated the tracking to eBay. So happy about that. 21 cards in total. We got $86.78 shipped out all together in a box. That's every once in a while that happens, and it's really great. There are a lot of sales. I had another 4 sales that I packed up this morning that were all like $3 to $5 cards that went out with stamps. But it's kind of cool that every once in a while you do get these. And I've been listing a lot of cards. We are close to 1,600 cards, I think, on this store now. think last time I was talking to you guys about this card store, I said we're getting close to 15. Now we're getting close to 1,600. So I am listing a ton on these, at least 10 a day. And then I'll usually list another 10 or 15 after if I have time. But happy about that. Let me get these actually packed up now. I do have the actual label there. So I'm going to get them packed up. And after that, we'll jump back over and start pulling orders. All right, let's kick it off with some Poshmark sales. Now, I already pulled this bin down here, but we are after a blanket, a towel, actually. This is a vintage 1990s Toronto Blue Jays, Looney Tunes, Taz, beach towel. This, I think I paid $5 for this. I was hoping I could get more out of it. Also, at one time, thought I would maybe keep it for myself, but I don't really need it. Must be the very bottom one, of course. Struggling to get it out of here. I'll throw a picture up on the screen. You can see it's got some fade to it, just so you can see right there from that. But I'll throw a full screen picture so you can actually see the towel itself. Really cool. I wound up getting around $20. Yeah, $19 for this. It was an offer. Went back and forth with somebody. I think I had it listed for like 27 bucks, somewhere in that area. Next, a DuPont Motorsports Jeff Gordon hat. This one we got $11 for. All the hats in this bin right here, I'm pretty sure these are Poshmark only. So these are hats we're just kind of trying to clear out. I think I might have just flipped over it right here. Whoops. Throwing it right in behind everything. There's spiders down there. Well, I don't think they're alive, but there were some spiders. Let's see, we got the webs on there now. There's some dust or something. Anyway, the lid to this just popped back open. Scared me a little bit. We'll get this cleaned off anyway. Not much on that. $11 to get it out of here. So a couple lower end Poshmark sales. One more Poshmark sale before we jump over to eBay. And it is a jacket. I remember pulling this jacket from the Goodwill bins. I'm having a minute here. Dropping stuff. I have to hang that back up properly. Nike jacket somewhere here. Right here. Nike jackets. Just like a nylon pullover jacket. So this one, it said pulled out of the Goodwill bins. Had some spots there, I think, on the white. I remember hitting it up with a little bit. So right there's still just a tiny little spot. Hit it up with some OxyClean, and I tried to use a little bit of bleach, just a tiny bit of bleach on like a Q-tip. But that's kind of how it stayed. There's one little spot on there, but $36 for this Nike jacket. Not too bad. Let's get this roundup orders out of here. All right, let's jump on over to eBay sales. Now this is a baseball glove I found at Goodwill maybe about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. It's in the plush bin. I don't know why I decided the plush bin was a good place for it, but where we threw it, right there on top. Okay, so it's in really nice shape. Just fix this. There we go. So it is a Rawlings fastball glove. There is a model number on this as well. Randy Johnson, oh right there, RGB 10B. I think it's a 13-inch glove as well. 40 bucks for this. It's a left-handed glove. You know, I couldn't use it myself. Nice glove though. But yeah, Randy Johnson, definitely a little bit older for sure. But nice glove, 40 bucks. Gloves you can clean up, but this one was already in nice condition. So I always look for my yard sales. I don't find a ton of them, and if I do, they're usually beat up or softball gloves. But a nice hardball glove like this, 40 bucks, happy about that. A lot. Now this is 3 different card sets going out to somebody else. 1991, 1992 Pro sets, supposed to be down here. One of the smaller boxes is this one right here. 1 through 150. That guy right there is $10. The next 2 are in the Waterloo. This is a lot of 3, so they'll get shipped out together. The next one is 91, 92 Parkhurst. This one was number 8. Yeah, 92 Parkhurst, 1 through 125. I feel like I might have some to relist for these smaller sets. I do have doubles of. Last one was a 92, 93 Fleer set. This one we got 1999. It's supposed to be in number 7. Let's see, Fleer sets. Where are you? Peachy. Peachy. Parkhurst. Oh, maybe it's this one. 92, 93 Fleer Ultra. Let's take another peek here. Wrote down, yes, it's this one right here. That one we got $19.99. Let's just close this drawer back up. We are going back to the Waterloo anyway in this drawer. Try not to break it. It's this Florida Panthers vintage Noma bulb. This was the first one, the first order from eBay International Shipping Program. It is just going to the US, which is pretty nice. Made in Canada. This thing, I assume there wouldn't be any tariffs on it. I don't really know, but that's my first international sale on this store. Let me just set you guys down for a second so I can figure out where to put this. There we go. Close this back up. Yeah, $19.99 going to the US through the international shipping program. So I just have to ship that one to Toronto. I think it's Markham. Last order. This person tried to buy this from me for the last month and a half. They are from the UK. I told them I didn't want to ship it to them because it's made in China and I didn't want to go through all the hassle. I've had some tough times with international sales, which is why I am happy to be a part of this program so that I don't have to worry about it nearly as much. I did reach out to this person and say, hey, I finally have been accepted to this program. And they were a little confused. They said, oh, like, we've just had it in the UK. You didn't have to, you had to opt out, not sign up. I'm like, well, it's similar here, but it's just so new. You had to wait for them to actually roll it out and you to be accepted in it. So when I knew that I did reach back out to this guy and say, hey, if you're still interested, I just got enrolled, same deal. He said, okay, I'll take a look. And he bought it last night. It's this Toronto Raptors Hudson Bay Company crew neck here. Somewhere, must be on the tag inside here. It's definitely made in China, which is why, super excited. Yeah, right there, made in China. Super excited to try to sell it internationally, especially to the US or anything like that. But we did get $32.30. Pretty sure I pulled this out of the Goodwill bins. I've had it for a while. Crazy it's going to the UK. Happy about it. Happy to be a part of the international shipping program. Makes me super happy. I hope we see a ton more sales. Even just a small uptick in sales would be nice. But we're already, I only have been aware that I've been in this one for less than a day and I've already made 2 sales. So fingers crossed that we see a lot more. Let's get this round of orders out of here. So a lot of good things going on right now as far as, increased shipping, hopefully from international shipping program. Second card stores taking off and doing really well for me. Like I said, I don't share a lot of sales from over there, but when you get a unique one like that, 21 cards, I thought it was neat to share with you guys. Yeah, still selling on DC sports cards. So consignment with sports cards. Poshmark is still doing fairly well. I'm happy with a little bit of an uptick. Hopefully, as I feed more items back onto Poshmark, sales also tick up. Poshmark is definitely an up and down for sales for me. I haven't recently threw a bunch of clothing on there or anything like that. It's been a lot of collectibles and stuff like that, which I've sold some of that, seen some of the older clothing sell, but I probably will start to focus in the new year. Unless I do another really big collectibles buy, I'll probably start to focus back towards clothing just a little bit because it's easier to source. But, I'm never opposed to big buys that could bring us anything. There's just not that many opportunities right now, obviously, for there's no flea markets or rummage sales coming up in the near future. Garage sale season's a long ways away. Thrift stores are always available. The Goodwill bins is always available. Other than that, I'm looking to make big bulk buys or make wholesale buys from Goodwill bins buddies, but that typically is clothing as well. Okay, hopefully, the rest of December goes like this. We're on an uptick. I expect near the end of the month it to drop back down again, but I really do hope we can make some good sales to close out the year. If you guys do like videos like this one, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing for more content. We'll see you guys soon.